Hi, this is Chris Reddick with Chris Reddick Financial Planning. In this blog post, I talk about required minimum distributions, or RMDs. All right, so generally the rule is that you need to take these at age when you reach 72. So basically what it is you have to take a certain percentage of your pre-tax retirement accounts. You have to take a distribution, pay tax on that, and then either put in a savings account or brokerage account. So the idea is that the IRS or the federal government or Treasury or whatever wants to get the money because it's been tax deferred, and they want got to eventually get taxed on it. Okay, so that's for pre-tax money. Now, if you have a Roth IRA, it doesn't have any RMDs. Okay, so Roth IRAs do not have RMDs. So a common question is, what types of retirement plans require minimum distributions? Okay, so we have a whole bunch of different types of retirement plans. We have 401k plans, so those are what you commonly see in the corporate type of sector. 403b plans, which are seen in hospitals, nonprofits, and universities and government. And then 457 plans are typically found in state and local governments. Okay, all of these plans need to take RMD. So also you have IRAs, SEP IRAs, SAR-SEP, simple IRAs. So this whole family of IRAs you need to take RMDs. And RMDs also apply to Roth 401k accounts. So not Roth IRAs, but Roth 401k. All right. So if you have a Roth 401k, you want to roll it into an Roth IRA to avoid RMDs. But Roth 401k is needed. All right. But RMDs do not apply to Roth IRAs while the owner is alive. They do apply if there's a beneficiary, and that's this typically the beneficiary needs to take it over a 10-year period. So essentially, employer-sponsored retirement plans or IRAs except for Roth IRAs, must take RMD. So it's just basically, if you have a Roth IRA, you don't have to take an RMD. Pretty well everything else you do, including a pension. All right, so can an account owner take an RMD from one account instead of separately from each account? This is really interesting in that if you have a 401k plan, you have multiple, you have to take from each account, right? But if you have a 403b, you can essentially aggregate the amount and take it from one account. All right. However, RMDs require from other retirement plans like 401ks, 457 plans, must take it separately. All right, but you can aggregate, I said, with 403b plans. Individual retirement accounts, you can take it from one account, the entire amount of the RMD. So that's an interesting thing, is that if you have a 401k, you have to take the RMD from each of the 401k plans and the 457 plans if you work in government. Okay, so maybe the simpler solution is to roll them into an IRA so you don't have to take them for all the individual accounts. So what happens if the person does not take an RMD? Right, this is something you really do not want to do because it's a 50% penalty. Right, so if your RMD was 10,000, let's use that number, a simple number. If you don't take the RMD for the year, there's a $5,000 penalty. That's a lot. That's a pretty huge penalty. And then, so you definitely want to take your RMD each year. All right. And it's by December 31st, you take the RMD. All right. If you have a pension, do you need to take RMD? So I work with a lot of folks that have pensions. Yes, you do need to take an RMD, but the RMD occurs over when you annuitize a pension. So when you start receiving monthly benefits, that counts as the required minimum distribution. So it does it automatically when you're taking the pension, a defined benefit pension plan, okay, over your lifetime. All right, now say you do a lump sum and you roll it into an IRA, then you need to take an RMD at 72. You can kind of leave it in the IRA, then take the RMD at 72. So how to avoid or minimize RMDs? So one way to minimize it is to do Roth conversions. So you can convert your pre-tax money to Roth, pay the tax, and then this will lower your RMDs. But a Roth conversion does not replace an RMD. The RMD must come out first before the Roth conversion. So you can't just convert and say from a Roth, from a pre-tax to a Roth and say, well, I took my RMD. That doesn't count. It has to be above and beyond that. Another way is to minimize RMD is, to keep working. While you're working for an employer and contributing towards a 401k, you could potentially work past 72, 80, or whatever the case would be, right? And you keep contributing to that 401k and not take RMD. But then when you separate from service, then you need to take RMD if you're at the required beginning date of 72. All right, and another interesting thing is a government pension is that if you take the pension earlier, potentially, the income is lower, the tax is lower. So that could have a benefit rather than waiting to take the pension. The benefit is higher, the tax is higher, right? And it still satisfies the RMD. But there's a lot of complexities involved with taking a pension, just using a simplified approach and an RMD. All right, so this is a really confusing subject and it brings a lot of anxiety to folks that need to take RMD. In my view, RMD is not a bad thing, right? You can spend the money on things you want to enjoy in retirement. So doing that is actually a really good thing in my opinion. It's when you take the RMD, what are you going to do with the money? Are you going to invest the money, put in a savings account, or just spend it? So you need to think about choices like that. All right, reach out to me if I can be of service. Have a great day.